Doing another norie. This mission I'm doing is getting a bit interesting. We left off, I was trying to figure out a thing in the explosion at the factory. Found some evidence, went to a person's house, I think that's where I left, and the bloke was dead in the freezer. So he's done a bit more, and now we found out a part we found is a part of an aeroplane. We've got to go to an aeroplane or aeroplane manufacturer.
If you use the siren, maybe those metal things in front of you called cars will know you're in a hurry. You think McGlowan went up in smoke? Or is he still alive?
Yeah, so...
You could ask the same question about Tomoko Akamoto.
I guess you could. You got an answer?
Right.
Not yet.
So you're going to crack on.
But I'm working on it.
If I want to get this mission done today.
5 George is en route to 496 Broadway. Do you have another assignment here, Central?
No crud. Going here.
This is a military project, gentlemen. Can you state your business?
Detectives, Phelps and Biggs, LAPD. We're investigating the explosion. We have reason to believe there may be a link to Hughes' aircraft.
I'm sorry, I can't help you there, Detective. Without authorization from military HQ, you won't be allowed onto this facility.
What seems to be the problem, gentlemen? Hey, Biggs. You're not still with the LAPD.
Right so, mates. Can you help us out here?
Sure. What seems to be the problem?
We're working the big explosion at the electroplating plant. I found a part there that belongs to one of your planes.
I work head of security for Mr. Hughes now. I'll take full responsibility. I'm sure we can clear this up. Follow me. It's the big hangar. You can't miss it.
Right, so follow...
Who is Mapes? And what's his connection to Howard Hughes?
Vernon Mapes used to work Advice. Word is he runs fuck pads for Hughes' starlets.
A pimp. Earl and Mapes would seem.
Mapes was the role model for creeps like Earl.
Follow me.
Good day, miss. Can that thing really fly?
Mr. Hughes believes so. Amazing, isn't she?
So, this is the spruce.
Jesus Christ, Biggs, you want to get me fired? Mr. Hughes hates that fucking name. It's the H-4 Hercules to you.
You mind answering a few questions, Mr. Mapes?
Call me Vernon, kid. Fire away.
Do you know anything about the explosion that happened at Nicholson Electroplating this morning?
No more than anyone else. Heard the boom while I was shaving. Almost shit my pants. Thought it was Pearl all over again.
But you have heard of the company?
Sure. We're in manufacturing. We work with suppliers. I did the same thing when I first saw the plane. I was staring wide-eyed for a full hour. You need a drink or something, Detective? I did the same thing when I first saw the plane. I was staring wide-eyed for a full hour. You need a drink or something, Detective?
Do you know Tomoko Akamoto?
Never heard of the broad. Why?
You don't happen to wear an LAPD tie pin, do you, Mapes?
Sometimes. I have a couple of them from my days on the force.
Do you know the chief chemist at Nicholson Electroplating, a Harold McClellan?
I've heard of the guy. He was pitching some fancy process to the company.
And were you interested?
The slide rules and lab coats are always interested. If he could get it to work.
Thanks for your help, Mr. Mapes. Do you mind if we have a look around while we're here?
Sure. Knock yourself out.
You want to take a look inside her? And her? Get a load of these engines. You think that cone could have come off one of them?
Is that a Pratt & Whitney 4360?
Sure is. You know your motors.
Do you mind if I take a look at the prop spinner?
We're getting her ready for sea trials, so be quick about it.
What What's the oily covering on the metal?
We coat the aluminum parts in linseed oil to preserve it from oxidization.
Looks like Nape's office is in the far corner. Let's go see what he's hiding.
I'm at a loss.
What do you say we take a look around inside the plane?
McClellan's process was going to replace all this.
Great.
Latitude 24 degrees, 15 minutes north. Longitude 76 degrees, 0 minutes west. .76 degrees west. 24 degrees, 15 minutes north. 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 .76 degrees west.
Let's see where this is exactly. The Bahamas. Somebody's already got their maiden flight planned. What do you think?
Check Mapes' office, but easy does it. You find something, he could turn nasty pretty quick.
Not much help.
That is Marie the Body McDonald.
Does Hughes have her on contract to RKO?
Yeah, I bet he does. Let's see what Pinker has for us. He's probably done tinkering with that camera by now.
Thanks for the tour, Mapes.
Always happy to help the department. Hey, don't I know your face from the papers? You're the cop that's stripping that German broad.
Nah, I think you got the wrong guy, Vernon.
I'm stumped. Ideas?
Let's see what Pinker has for us. He's probably done tinkering with that camera by now.
So McClellan was selling his new process to Hughes and cutting out Nicholson.
Looks that way. This would never go all the way up to Hughes. He would have middlemen dealing with stuff like this.
Someone like Mapes?
The word middleman was invented for guys like this.
Siren might make this easier.
Must be a tough break being separated from the kids, Phelps.
They're fine. They've got their mother and they've got each other.
What about you?
What about me?
What have you got?
A friend of mine is helping me through it.
Now that I got you, I may as well ask you.
Ask me what?
The Black Dahlia. Who was it that killed that poor girl?
No official charges have been pressed in the case.
I know that. I'm not looking for the official version.
I made a promise to the department.
These are the guys who soldiered down the river.
Going on police station.
Any messages for me, Hopkins?
Not many you'd want to hear. Newspapers wanting interviews and rookies cussing you out mostly.
Nothing else.
Pinker wants you in tech services. Maybe you'll be more popular downstairs.
Right.
Hey, Cole. You're not winning any popularity contests upstairs, you know.
Help me out.
Come on, Cole. Ray's a busy guy, and he's waiting on us with this report.
Where do you stand?
I think you're a good cop, but I try and stay out of politics.
Everybody tries to stay out of politics, Ray.
Well, don't quote me on it, but I'm hoping that Parker will get the job and clean this place up. I have your photographs. You can use the magnifier. There's quite a lot of detail.
Very funny.
I think you're right, Ray. We have our man. You take a nice photo, Phelps.
Yeah, I'm thinking moving up to 45. Stop him with one round.
Bringing the Watcher a match for our John Doe. He's obviously the competitive bid. Can you get this over to Lockheed so we can get a name for this guy?
It's already on its way.
Howard Hughes, millionaire, industrialist, aviator, and playboy, and Vernon Mapes, ex-dirty cop and business fixer. Excellent photography, Tomoko. So Tomoko had the goods on McClellan. Too bad they blew the place to hell.
You got the jitters again.
Is this McClellan? Can anyone make out the street number behind him?
Are you kidding? With my eyesight?
Bit 941.
Cole, can you help me with a little experiment? Use the eyedropper in front of you. One drop from each of the bottles on the desk. Place the drops in the Petri dish.
Mary says he'll sing. Only if I guarantee he walks.
It's okay, guys. Just a little experiment.
Can you guys knock it off? Everyone's still jumping from that bang this morning.
Very funny, Ray. You just took a couple years off my life expectancy.
Did the same trick to me about an hour ago.
So that was the stuff that caused the explosion.
I think so. Acetic anhydride is almost as explosive as nitro, and when mixed with perchloric acid, it's very unstable. It needs to be cooled constantly. We used linseed oil. You could add any organic compound to trigger an explosion.
3 little drops.
Yeah, and they were using a 100-gallon vat.
Oh, mate. Right. Location. Right, going to this house. We'll find out what the fudge is going on.
Did you see his lovely wife and children in the paper?
Right, there's one. There it is.
Officer needs help, 103 MD.
Brother! Son of a bitch!
Stinks of petroleum.
Avgas, if I'm not mistaken. It's all around the floor. Hangstrom is flying today on TWA.
Angstrom is dead, Cole. Why leave your ticket behind?
Maybe just cleaning up.
See ya.
Hangstrom and McClellan are the same man.
The gas, Cole, the gas! We gotta get out of here right now! Look, by the stove! Shoot the gas line, Cole, we're out of here! Cole, the gas! We gotta get out of here right now! Look, by the stove! Shoot the gas line, Cole, we're out of here! There you are, shitheel. Come on, he's not getting away from us. Don't leave me hanging out here, Phelps. Move in. Enough games, Phelps. Take this guy out. I'll try to shoot out his tires. Wish me luck. Lay into his wheel well, come on. Shit. You security men, Cole. Stay on Mapes. Knock them off the road if you have to, but stay on that fucker. Get in close and steer him off the tar. Step on it, huh? Get me just a little closer. Smash the son of a bitch's rear wheel.
Are you on the sauce or what?
Stop right there. Get out of the cars slowly. Fire a warning round.
We're gonna have to go through all the security men first. I hope you're ready for a fight,
Aim at
Cole.
the tires.
How long do you think you can hold out?
Get your head down. He wants to play cat and mouse? Fine. Let's go and get his ass.
Find some cover! Stay in cover! Stay down.
I got you.
Empty. It's useless.
You're gonna have to explain this to me again. So the guy at the chemical plant, he's planning on selling his magic formula to another company and skipping town with his assistant, but he blows himself up before he can manage it. So why the dead body in the refrigerator?
Mapes, Captain. He was eliminating all competitors to the process. When it went bang, he burnt down the apartment to remove all connection between Hughes and the plant.
Mapes, right. I remember Vernon Mapes. Guy had good, honest cops hanging their heads in shame. Glad he's finally out of commission. I don't know if it'll do you any good, Phelps, but between the spruce goose and half the city exploding, you might just have made the case of the decade.
That case is done. And God, that was a long one. Right.
Good morning, Doctor.
And a good morning to you too, Elsa. You look radiant.
Thank you, Doctor.
We haven't been seeing much of you lately, Elsa. You've been missing appointments.
I'm sorry, Doctor. I've been feeling much better.
That's very good to hear. And what has brought about this improvement?
It's the new man in my life. He's convinced me to fight my addiction.
Ah, the policeman from the newspapers. How has he coped with his fall from grace?
He can finally see things from a human perspective, rather than the ivory tower he created for himself. It's making him stronger. It's making me stronger helping him.
You wouldn't make a bad analyst yourself, Elsa. Should we swap seats?
We're both finding we have a lot to live up.
And what is that?
In my case, Lou, he went through hell along with me and still came out smiling. In Cole's case, his friend, Jack Kelso.
Kelso?
You've heard of him?
No, I just like the sound of his name.
Cole and Jack are working on a case together.
Is Jack a policeman too?
No, he works for the district attorney.
What?
He's a special investigator. I thought you didn't know him.
I have never met the gentleman in question.
He has been looking into Lou's case. Cole thinks it might be linked to some fires he's investigating. You look pale, Doctor.
It's cold in here, Elsa. I think I'll close the window. Why are you looking at me like that, Elsa?
You arranged for Lou to work at Elysian Fields, Doctor.
Your fears are unfounded. I meet many people in my line of work. There are many ways that people can be helped. Finding them work is just one of them.
I don't believe you, Doctor. I've seen you with Monroe at the club.
I'm sorry that you have come to that conclusion, Elsa. I've always so enjoyed our conversation.
Oh, what an idiot.
I can see your future, Elsa. And Cole, the policeman. And Jack, the investigator. It's an unfortunate and a grisly end.
I've come to help you, Doctor. To help you cross over. All your sins will be forgiven. Next slide.
It's got to be one of these places. The arsonist's a bug sprayer. He must have worked at one of these joints.
Right, go to rapid extermination.
Help you?
How many guys you have working here, Pop?
Who's asking, son?
It could be official or unofficial. Depends on how you want to play it.
You should get to a hospital, son. That arm of yours appears to be letting in daylight.
Save the pity for the other guys. They're the ones who need it. I'm looking for a big cowboy who works pest control. Does he work here?
We don't have anyone like that here.
You sure? I'm not the type of guy you want coming back.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What have you got?
Looks like a drug overdose.
Get away from him, Phelps. This is my case. Shut your fucking mouth. Since when does a bagman work a case? I knew this creep wasn't on the morphine heist. Victim of his own product.
Hey, detective! Can we back it off a notch? This is getting out of hand.
A time to talk and a time to shut up. Now is the time to be quiet, son.
Courtney Sheldon was a corpsman, Roy. He served his country. He went out with a medical kit and an Army 45 into places that made the Valley of Death look like a picnic. He was either naive enough or dumb enough to get involved in the Suburban Redevelopment Fund, along with the mayor, the DA, Monroe, and a certain crooked cop. He was involved in the morphine heist, but he has a puncture wound in his jugular, which makes this a murder case. He was a better man than you'll ever know. You say one more word about him and I will blow your fucking head off!
You finally lost it, partner.
I have a pretty good idea why Sheldon's dead. And I know about Monroe. Your vast, corrupt future is draining away as we speak.
I got better things to do than argue the rub with you.
Stay with him until the coroner gets here. Make sure technical services bags the evidence. If you let this creep anywhere near it, I'll come looking for you.
Yes, sir.
You know, Phelps, you're not the worst asshole going around.
Thanks, Herschel.
Right, so in this one, right. Right, next one. Nuclear bug and rodent.
Welcome to Nuclear. What can I do you for?
I work for the DA. I need to speak with an exterminator, big guy with a cowboy accent.
We have only 3 people work here. Me and 2 Mexicans. They're both on the scrawny side.
Thanks for your help.
That's like, that's
Must be his blind spot.
I work for the DA. I'm looking for a big cowboy, does extermination. Anyone like that working here?
Well, I wouldn't want to get anyone into any trouble.
We could do this the hard way. An address?
Yeah, he lives in a bunkhouse on the remains of the old Rancho Rincon.
Thanks.
Cole, you made it.
What's this got to do with me, Rusty?
Dr. Fontaine, prominent shrink, dead in his patient's room. Spine snapped like a twig. The suspect is one of his mental patients.
I've met Fontaine.
His last patient was Elsa Lichtman, Cole. She's missing. Nurse said that she saw some big Boris Karloff type carry her out of here.
The best thing that you can do to help me, Rusty, is let me take a look around.
Sure thing, Cole. This way. Take your time. I'll give you and the doctor some privacy.
So much for your foresight, Doctor.
Destroyed by a monster of your own creation, Dr. Fontaine. I've heard that story somewhere before.
That goddamn pet lunatic of yours is burning down our houses.
Keep your voice down, Leland. Control is of the essence.
Keep your voice down. You know how much these sons of bitches charge for lunch? Fuck them.
Leland, we will not solve our problems by announcing them to the general public. We only speed ourselves on our way to the gallows.
He's your imbecile, Harlan. Get him under control or get rid of him.
Speaking of which, I've had to dispose of our young medical student.
What? You certainly are a cold character, Harlan.
He has a friend called Kelso who knows all about the development on Normandy Avenue.
I know about Kelso.
And you thought it unimportant to inform me.
I thought I could take care of it.
Have you?
No, I haven't.
Kelso works for Benson. Is he reliable?
No, he's totally unreliable. But he has so many pernicious habits, he's got nowhere to run.
Can you take care of Kelso?
Don't push me, Harlan. Get rid of the fruitcake. No longer necessary. I'll take care of Jack Kelso.
Right, and YouTube, I'm going to end this video, so thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Cheerio.